Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm 41 and I'm an artist and a photographer and a mother. You can find my work at S2T Photography on Instagram and show your work on Instagram as well for my artwork.
Good afternoon, Shannon. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me to share your story.
I'm glad to share it. So thanks.
So we'll start the conversation with just one question. What do you think people's first impression of you is?
That I'm outgoing and nice, I guess. I suppose, Without knowing me, yeah, that's what I'd say.
That's good. So we met because Remy, who does the edits of the show, was talking to me about your artwork, your story, and just how much you mean to their life. And so he thought we should get to know each other and a story we should share with other people. So where are you from originally?
I'm from, all San Bernardino County, Riverside, Rialto, Colton. So Southern California girl, basically. Born and raised, yeah.
And I know sitting behind you is some artwork.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your artwork. Tell me a little bit about your story, how you came to be an LA girl, and kind of what some of this art means to you.
There's been 3 things I've done my whole life, and as long as I can remember, it's been art, photography, and poetry, or writing, short stories, whatever, So it kind of carries with me through my whole life. It's one of the few ways that I can express myself when I can't express myself. And I don't know, I just always wanted to make other people feel things. I'm kind of one of those, I like to inspire people to feel things, feel like they can also, it's that easy, you can do it too. I basically went to school for film. Thought I was going to be Hype Williams at one point, and then music videos weren't a thing, and now they are again. But I went to school for film, and my life took a different path, as in, I had to support myself still. So I was working retail management, and I got promoted to a store out here in Glendale to open a store. So that's when I moved, basically, and that's how I became out here, an LA gal. And that's when I met Remy. I met all the people that really sewed into the beginning of my career out here as a photographer. I started shooting dancers because back then NoHo was full-on dance community, and started with the NoHo Art Walk when they started with my artwork. Started teaching my daughter how to do all this stuff, and here we are today.
You mentioned how you thought you wanted to do music videos, and then your life took a turn. Was there something in your life that made it take that turn?
Just having to be self-sufficient. It was really hard to, continue putting myself through school and working at the same time. So I guess I know that my inspiration would always be there, so I kind of dropped off of the education part of it and just started working. I know that I'm good at both, like I said, the management, the clerical, the right brain thing, and then the left brain thing. I don't know which side goes to which, but yeah, I have a good balance of both. So I found satisfaction in that too. So I guess I kind of let everything fall by the wayside for a while so I could get myself together enough to be self-sufficient.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you talk about the fact that you have gotten your daughter into art. How old is your daughter?
She's 11.
She's 11.
Yeah, she'll be 12 in December, and she's been doing art. I used to make jewelry, actually, even. I'm one of those Jane of all trades type of people. I had an Etsy shop back in probably 2009, 2010. And I used to sell jewelry all over the world. It was really awesome. I'd get orders from France and China, Africa, everything. And it was really satisfying to know that I was, again, reaching out across the world to people, And she would sit there while I'm trying to make stuff and be, Mommy, can I help? Mommy, can I help? So I'd give her some of the bigger beads and let her make her little thing. And, but yeah, it was she's so much of a mama's girl that anything I do, she wants to be a part of. So I guess it just came naturally to her too.
So why'd you stop making jewelry?
Because she turned about 3 or 4 and was all the way in it, and my ex-husband wasn't the most attentive babysitter when I was doing it. So it was really difficult to continue filling my orders and stuff. And then I got the job. So the job was opening stores for Ann Taylor, like setting up the like the planograms, you know what I mean, the store sets and stuff like that, opening new stores. So I got this job then. We were both, her dad and I were both on Obama's unemployment that lasted for way too long. So we, I got a little, I can't be stagnant. So I had to go and work too. So once that started happening, I took off and they wanted me to open all these stores, and then they moved me out here. So I guess that kind of took over. It was cool though, because being in retail, I got to see, like, before it would come out, I got to see what the trending colors and styles were. So when I was making my jewelry, I should have kept with it. I really should have, because I was making my jewelry on trend at that time, And again, life swallowed me.
I think it gets to us all, right? We have a plan, and all of a sudden we're doing something different.
It all laughs at your plans. Life is like, oh, I see you. You thought, Yeah, that's pretty much me.
So did you move back up here to LA with your husband and your daughter?
No, we were already kind of at that turning point, and I wanted him to come out here if we were going to continue. He wanted to move back to San Diego where we started our relationship, and there's just too many memories, too much like resentment and things that happen out there. And I said, can we just start over in LA? And he didn't want to come, and I wasn't going to not take the job. And I didn't want my daughter to see a marriage that one person was doing things and the other one wasn't. So we left each other, essentially. Yeah. So, but it's amicable. It took a long time for us to actually even be in a place where we're together as a co-parenting unit, but we're finally getting there, I think. So in the end, I think it was all worth it. And we, we've always had regular, like, shared custody and stuff, but I don't like her seeing us in the same room together when we're not getting along. I think it's important that she sees that, there should be respect in a partnership. So, but all in all, she got great things from him. She got great things from me. I got great things from him, obviously, her. And I'm pretty strong-willed, so I made my decision confidently to come out here. And I knew it would be great for her. I knew it would change her life. I knew it would change my life, and it did. So, I wouldn't take anything back. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So you mentioned retail, you mentioned art, you mentioned photography, all things that seem to have been affected by recent events in the in the world. How has that impacted you, and what have you been doing to kind of deal with that?
So it stopped me in more than one avenue of both, like, money, like revenue, and creativity. So basically, since Jordan and I have been here in the house, we just paint and do art, So I guess that's how I still channel it, through watching her. Her drawings have been, she's gotten so much better, and it's like, it gives me so much of a thrill. So I guess that's what it is. For me, that's how it's affected me financially. I just do, like, Instacart, Postmate, whatever, delivery driver things that I can do right now until I can get back to shooting events and showing my work. Show your work. That's why my art page is called that.
That's awesome. I love it.
So yeah, but yeah, it's just basically living vicariously through watching my daughter get it better and better, and finishing pieces that I've been sitting on for way too long and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's not just one road that was stifled. It sounds like every path you tried is the end was
that's a creative
temporarily closed.
Yeah, well, that's a creative's life, period. I don't even think it has to do with COVID. It's literally like creatives either were like knee deep and have that business mind, and we can actually channel it and make it a thing that's monetarily functional, or we channel it, we make it a thing that's emotionally functional. Not many of us can do both without somebody else's help, and I just don't even know how to like get it all the way out there. So it's self-starter, not necessarily always my strong suit. So
So you talk about the poetry night even, and you talk about in your art about really channeling your energy into it and speaking through it and encouraging people to use their words and be able to express themselves. I can only assume that there were things that happened in your life that made it to where you felt you needed to express yourself in a certain way, and art was very therapeutic for you, maybe poetry even. Care to share any of that?
Yeah, well, I've been up against the learning curve, I think, for pretty much my whole life, simply because of the examples that were put in front of me. Like, my parents had my parents had a way of attaining income that wasn't they
necessarily
used to,
on the up and
yeah
up.
They used to sell things that people do and I didn't like it. No. So they were moving things. A little work happened in my house. I was moving some work and stuff. Okay, so I saw a lot of things that made me never want to do those things, which is great because so many people I know, even just dabble, party, whatever, and I never have had the desire to try and do that because I saw what it did to the people. They used to come over to my parents' house all the time to do their thing. So, and there was some abuse. There was a lot of abuse in my mom's relationships. So I got exposed to a lot of things that I shouldn't necessarily have been. So the art was, it was crucial to me. To be able to go in my room and draw or color or write or sing or do poetry. Karaoke is one of my other favorite things in the whole entire world. Outside of like my kid and, you know, my creativity, karaoke is like my favorite thing. So, you know, any of those things kind of broke me out of the things I shouldn't have been exposed to. They helped me create my bubble. So I guess that's why, even though I don't expose my daughter to that same life, I still think it's so important. And I think that's why I feel so many people are hurting. And if they only tapped into, everybody's talented. I know for a fact. Everybody has a talent somehow. But they are either told that they're not, or they don't believe it. They never saw it. They don't dig it. They don't dig in. I don't know. But I do strongly believe that if I had a mission on this whole entire planet, it would be to just make people feel themselves through expressing their whatever, however their creativity comes out. And I think that was because I used it to, instead of hiding inside of myself, I used it to kind of run away. It was an escape. Yeah. I truly admire when somebody has a talent outside of myself because I know that they've tapped into some form of their energy, that their output, you know what I mean? And I think I'm an a vibe person, you know? Like, I was raised Presbyterian, and then in high school, all of my friends' parents were Baptist, so then I got baptized as Baptist, so I was Southern Baptist, and my ex-husband is from Alabama, so that was obviously Bible Belt Baptist, you know? So I was always in the church, but I've always felt like it's bigger than that, you know? So I feel like we're all blessed with this energy, and it's all there for all of us, and this is why if we all just opened up to what's happening right now, I think we could definitely change the vibe. I know that sounds lofty and, you know, idealist, but I truly believe that it's all about self-awareness, integrity, and you know, expression, to be honest, communication, honesty, and, like, you know, that falls under integrity. But like, I think that artistic talents, like you said, number strategy, you know, my daughter, she's amazing at math. Her reading skills and writing skills, like as far as like creative writing, she could tell a story, but she kind of wanders and trails off. Me, I'll sit there and write. I've had stories published, you know, so I'm not that good at math. She's way better at math, but we still share the art thing. So it's like everybody has their strength, everybody has their weakness, and if we were comfortable in both parts of that, then I think we could all really like build ourselves up and have that balance. That's why that series, that, you know, with the thing, that's why I call it duality, because it's like there's this whole expansive part of ourselves, the existential part, you know, and then there's the actual us that walks around here and has to interact with other people and has to respect the fact that other people may or may not receive us well, you know. So I think that if we tapped in, and self-awareness is part of that, you know, if we all just tapped in, I think that we would really kind of fix things, start to unbreak the system and maybe be able to rebuild it a little bit more functionally. So.
Well, and I think the two things that you touched on that speak to me are the self-awareness and the communication, because I think that, and also I think the part of communicating is educating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not textbook educating necessarily, it's social interaction educating.
Right.
And I started these interviews, I started filming in September of last year, and I aired the first one on my YouTube channel in November. Never in a million years could I have imagined the need for community and connection to be what it is today. I started this because I saw a world that needed less judgment, and I saw a way that we needed to that I could help, where there was a need for people to connect with things that they either didn't understand or were different to them, or that they were uneducated about.
Yeah, exactly. Because we always fear what we don't understand, you know. We all have our problems. We all have our issues. We all have our self-medications. You know, some people rely on the Medicare, you know, healthcare system, you know what I mean, to tell them what's wrong with them. Other people can tap in and they self-medicate. Other people can tap in and do meditation and elevate, you know. So there's a whole spectrum of even understanding your shortcomings, you know, and how you deal with those. And again, that goes back to self-awareness for me. I think that that's one of the most important things, because if you can't even dial into why you feel the way that you feel, or why you're doing the things that you're doing, why this is so satisfying and this is so dissatisfying, then you're not going to move further. You can move further in your life all you want. You can buy a house, you can have a kid, you can get the cars, you can do all the stuff. But if you ain't tapping into what's motivating you and what's holding you back, then you're not going to excel in yourself. So again, monetary things don't really matter that much to me. It's more about achieving a level of peace inside of myself, knowing that I'm giving something to. I mean, people call it codependent, and yeah, there's times I go way too far into giving myself to other people, you know. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I know that when I transcend to the next level of existence, whatever that is, I don't know if it's heaven, hell, reincarnation, I don't know what it is, but I know that I've been benevolent my whole life and given myself, to my seed, and to everybody that I loved. And that's really, at the end of the day, I think is the most important thing. That's all you could do, you know. Be true to yourself, and honor the people that are around you, that you love, you know.
Yep, so. Absolutely. So what is something that would surprise people to know about you?
I am so transparent that I don't know what people are surprised by, because I'm literally such a freaking open book. You know, I love to cook. Oh my God, I love to please people. Oh my God, I love anime. I'm a total anime nerd. I don't know, maybe that might surprise people. I know most of my friends know me they know my musical preference. I have a deep-seated love. Some people might not know I have a deep-seated love for reggae. And some people might not know I have a deep-seated love for classic rock. So, I mean, most people know I love hip-hop. But across the board, like, the only thing I don't listen to is country. I don't think that there's much that people would... I'm so transparent. I don't even know. I would have to ask Remy. Like, you know what I mean? I'd have to ask somebody else. Like, what surprises you about me? I guess I'm self-aware in myself, but I'm not aware of how I get stuck. Okay, so maybe that's it. I'm not as confident or aware of myself as I come off. I guess that might surprise people.
That would surprise me.
Yeah.
You're very open, very, like you said, very transparent, very honest. But
it almost is to a fault, to where I don't even see myself sometimes. So I guess that would be the surprise. For me, that's a surprise. It surprises me every freaking day.
So you said in the genres, when you were tossing back and forth the music that you were interested, the way you said that everybody knows you love hip-hop, that seemed almost like there's a reason why you love it. I don't know, it just seemed like the way you said that seemed like something came off like, if you didn't know I loved hip-hop, then you
don't even know me.
Right.
Yeah, straight up. Because, geez Louise. Well, it's just, I love and when I say hip hop, I mean like 90s, Wu-Tang, Boot Camp Click, favorite group ever, by the way. Boot Camp Click, Helter Skelter, Black Moon, OGC, Smith & Wesson. I actually went so far as, like, in the MySpace days, I pursued them, got to know them, flew out to New Jersey several times to film for them and to potentially sing backup. The only thing that ruined that was that everybody in that circle thinks that if a female goes to do anything, that they're there for something else. So I had to deny all that, and I then didn't get the calls to come back, fly back out, and that was really disappointing. But at the end of the day, nothing will change my love for what hip hop taught me about expressing myself. The Fugees, the score, changed my life. Lords of the Underground, like, I love. If you know me, then you know. You know what I'm saying? You know how much I love it. Like Remy, he even jokes sometimes. You know more about reggae than I do sometimes, just as a joke. But like, I love roots music, like Capleton, and like, I love people that make you feel something, and that's because that's what I am. I guess I want to make people feel something. So. And hip hop makes you feel. Blues. When I write music, because I write songs, I wrote an album for a friend of mine. That's the open mic nights. It's always and you were asking before about why these creative outlets, what happened. Every single breakup is material for me. I have a blues song that says, "This pain is so inspiring." And that's literally like my crux. That's my thing. So that's, if you know me, you know. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's incredible. So, one last question for you, unless there's anything else you feel compelled to share that you need to add to your story.
Okay. No, go ahead.
So, last question I have for our conversation, which I have enjoyed tremendously. No one can see because I'm behind this camera, but my cheeks hurt.
Thank you.
I haven't stopped smiling from this conversation because I find your messages. I mean, there's so many impactful things in this conversation that I can identify with, and I guarantee multiple people watching can identify with them. Again, another goal of the show is to hopefully people watch things and think, like you said, I'm not alone. I experienced something like that, and if that helped her, maybe that would help me. So my last question for you is, if you were walking down the street and you had the opportunity to just hold up a sign that said one thing about Shannon, what would you want people to know about you?
I'm here. I have this thing my mom always says. I have a superiority inferiority complex where I know I'm dope and I know I have so much to give, but I feel totally overlooked and underestimated. So it'd probably just say, I'm here.
Well, I see you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get all emotional all of a sudden.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what it'd say. And you take it however you want to. See whatever you want to. See the mom I am. See the artist or whatever. See the friend. The woman. Just see me. Don't see me as some white lady or, just some mom or just some anything, That's what I want.